Right now, there's a space station orbiting Earth that most people have never heard of, and it's quietly outperforming the International Space Station in almost every way. While NASA struggles to keep a 25-year-old relic alive with duct tape and prayers, China just launched a sleek, AI-powered orbital home that runs itself. The ISS costs billions per year to maintain. Tiangong? It barely needs ground control. One station is stuck in the past. The other is already preparing for Mars. The question isn't which one is better, it's whether the West is even paying attention.
The International Space Station is massive. Picture 4 football fields stacked together, floating 250 miles above your head. It's been up there since 1998, cobbled together piece by 15 different countries. Russia built the power modules, America handled the laboratories, Europe, Japan, Canada, everyone wanted a piece of the action. Tiangong? It's 1/5 the size, 3 modules, built entirely by China, launched between 2021 and 2022. But here's the twist. Size doesn't equal capability anymore. Think about your smartphone. 10 years ago, laptops were clunky, heavy, and needed constant charging. Now your phone has more computing power than the computers that sent astronauts to the moon. Tiangong is the smartphone. The ISS is the old laptop. The ISS has 16 pressurized modules. Tiangong has 3. Yet somehow China's station delivers nearly the same scientific output. How? Modern design, efficient layouts, and tech that was literally invented this decade. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. The ISS is old, not just old, ancient by space standards. Its core systems were designed in the 1990s. The computers running critical operations have less processing power than a PlayStation 4. The solar panels are degrading. The cooling systems leak. Astronauts spend more time fixing things than doing actual research. In 2022, the Russian module sprung a coolant leak. The entire station had to scramble. This wasn't a one-time thing. Leaks, cracks, and malfunctions happen regularly now. It's like driving a car with 300,000 miles on it. Sure, it still runs, but you're always one breakdown away from disaster. Now compare that to Tiangong. Everything on China's station is new. The life support system, it recycles 95% of water and oxygen automatically. The ISS does this too, but Tiangong's system requires far less maintenance and ground intervention. The propulsion? Tiangong has ion thrusters. These are the same electric engines that power deep space probes. They're efficient, reliable, and allow the station to adjust its orbit without burning tons of fuel. And here's where it gets wild. Tiangong has AI-driven diagnostics. The station literally monitors itself. If something goes wrong, it identifies the problem, isolates the module, and alerts ground control with a solution already calculated. Astronauts on the ISS? They're still troubleshooting with manuals. Oh, and the power situation. The ISS generates about 120 kilowatts of power from its aging solar arrays. Tiangong generates 27 kilowatts. Wait, that sounds worse, right? Not quite. Because Tiangong's power systems are so efficient, it actually operates more experiments per kilowatt than the ISS. Modern electronics use less energy. Better design means less waste. It's the difference between running an old desktop computer versus a MacBook. Here's something most people don't know. The ISS has one robotic arm. It's called Canadarm2, and it's incredibly useful for moving equipment and catching cargo ships. Tiangong has 3 robotic arms. One large arm, 2 smaller, more precise arms, and they work together like a surgical team. They can assemble modules, conduct repairs, and even move experiments outside the station without astronauts suiting up. But wait, there's more. Tiangong's arms are also modular.
If one gets damaged, it can be detached and replaced. The ISS arm? If it breaks, you're looking at a multi-billion-dollar repair mission. China also designed Tiangong to dock with cargo ships autonomously. No human input required. The cargo vessel approaches, aligns itself using sensors and AI, and connects. Done. The whole process takes minutes. On the ISS, docking requires ground control, astronauts on standby, and a whole lot of coordination between multiple countries. It's not inefficient because people are incompetent. It's inefficient because the system was designed before modern automation existed. And here's the kicker. Tiangong can operate with zero crew for months. The ISS can't. If astronauts leave the ISS, it starts deteriorating rapidly. Systems shut down, experiments stop. The station becomes a paperweight. Tiangong, it keeps running. Experiments continue. The AI maintains everything. It's built for independence. All right, so one station is newer and more automated. But what about actual science? Isn't the ISS supposed to be the ultimate research facility? It is, or it was. The ISS has conducted thousands of experiments, studies on bone density, plant growth in microgravity, fluid dynamics, combustion, and even drug development. It's been invaluable. But there's a problem. The ISS is so old that much of its research focuses on maintaining human life in space, not exploring beyond Earth, not preparing for moon bases or Mars colonies, just surviving in low Earth orbit. Tiangong is different. China designed its station with one goal: prepare for deep space. Every experiment on Tiangong is geared toward long-duration missions. How do you grow food for a Mars trip? How do you recycle waste into fuel? How do you keep astronauts mentally stable for 3 years? China isn't just doing science, they're building a roadmap. And then there's the external experiment platforms. Tiangong has mounting points outside the station where equipment can be installed remotely. Need to test a new solar panel design? Bolt it on. Want to study cosmic radiation? Attach a sensor. No spacewalk required. The ISS has external experiments too, but installing them requires astronauts to suit up, spend hours outside, and risk their lives. It's slow, it's dangerous, and it limits how much can actually be done. Now let's talk about the part nobody wants to say out loud. The ISS is a political nightmare. It's run by 5 space agencies: NASA, Roscosmos, ESA, JAXA, and CSA. 15 countries total, which sounds great in theory: international cooperation, peaceful exploration, unity in space. But in reality, it's a logistical disaster. Every decision requires approval from multiple governments. Budgets get slashed when political tensions rise. Russia threatened to pull out after sanctions over Ukraine. NASA wants to retire the station by 2030, but not everyone agrees. And then there's the elephant nobody talks about. The ISS was built to keep Russia and America working together after the Cold War. It was a diplomatic tool, not a purely scientific one. Tiangong doesn't have that problem. It's run by one country, one agency, one vision. China doesn't need to negotiate with 15 governments to upgrade a module or launch a new experiment. And here's where it gets interesting. Tiangong says Tiangong is open to international cooperation. They've invited countries from Asia, Africa, and South America to send experiments and astronauts. Pakistan, Thailand, and Egypt have already signed deals. Is this genuine cooperation? Or is China building its own version of the ISS while the West collapses under political infighting? Probably both. The ISS is dying. Everyone knows it. The question is, what comes next? NASA's plan is to retire the ISS and let private companies build commercial space stations. Axiom, Blue Origin, and others are competing for contracts. But here's the problem: none of them are ready. Axiom is still in development. Blue Origin's orbital wreath is years away, and even when these stations launch, they'll be smaller, privately owned, and focused on tourism and manufacturing, not deep space research. China doesn't have this problem. Tiangong is already operational. It's expandable. New modules can be added. China is planning a second station by the 2030s, maybe even a lunar station. While NASA debates budgets and waits for billionaires to finish their space hotels, China is already living in the future. So which station is better? Depends what you're measuring. Size? The ISS wins. Age? Also the ISS. Efficiency? Tiangong. Autonomy? Tiangong. Future readiness? Not even close. But here's what nobody's asking. What happens when the ISS shuts down in 2030 and there's only one major space station left? When every country that wants to do orbital research has to go through Beijing? When the next generation of astronauts grows up thinking China is the leader in space exploration? Because that's not a hypothetical. That's the plan, and it's already happening.